What's up, guys, and welcome to the Tim Sports Talk. We have a Thursday night football game to go. Here we go. We got Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks, and we knew it was going to be a good one, and it was. We had a little bit of everything. We had a safety, some good defense. Offense was there, of course. Good plays, a lot of penalties. No turnovers on the game, though. That was nice. So, turnover list, and last time they played, Russell Wilson had 3 interceptions, and they went down to Arizona in overtime. This time, no interceptions, and they win the game 28-21. What a game it was. There was a lot to go on. I just want to start with what in the world went on before the halftime. First of all, Arizona Cardinals had the ball with less than 2 minutes to go at the Seahawks 50. And they were down 13-7 at this point. Then they punt the ball because Kyler tries to run for the first down, doesn't get it. They end up punting the ball, and they start their drive, Seahawks that is, starts the drive on the 13-yard line. 13-yard line. They start then with 2 false starts in a row, knocking them back down to the 4-yard line. So now they're starting at 96 yards to go to get to the end zone. They get a couple of nice plays, and they actually call timeout with 32 seconds left, and they're like, all right, we give up. Then they hand the ball off to Dallas just to try to kill the clock. Well, he gets like a 15-yard play. So they're like, okay, let's spike the ball. They don't need to spike the ball because Arizona Cardinals defense has an injury. Basically, Arizona has to stop the clock for the Seahawks there with 19 seconds left, and now all of a sudden they're at the 45. Well, we can get a field goal with about 19 seconds. Well, they go deep to DK. PI on Patrick Peterson now puts him at the 13-yard line. They started this drive on the 4-yard line after some false starts, and now all of a sudden they're on the 13-yard line, and they're like, oh man, Seahawks are going to try to score a touchdown. Well, they throw to a wide open DK Metcalf in the back end, and it hits him right in the head. Just hits him right in the chin. He didn't even get his hands up. The ball just hits him right in the chin, drop pass, and they end up only getting a field goal. It literally just hit him right in the face. Russell Wilson couldn't have thrown a better pass. It was right to his noggin. That was a crazy series of events. Well, then I'll go to the next one was the safety. So now they're down by 2 right now, 23-21, and they're trying to get a drive going, trying to get a field goal to potentially take the lead. Well, instead, you get a holding call in the end zone, and it was a little bit of controversy, but I think it was a good call because they were saying, where does the hold start? The block starts outside of the end zone, but by the time he actually grabs him and starts pulling him, I think it was at the end zone line, so I thought it was a good call by the ref. And so that's just 2 things right here. Let's see who's here. What's up, Spoiled? Can't blame Kyler for that ending. I mean, it's tough. He was probably going too deep when he didn't have to, I think. He was trying to give 50-50 balls, and they weren't even to DeAndre. One was to Isabella and another one to Larry Fitz. I mean, we know who he's supposed to be going to. The guy that caught it last week, okay? Come on. What up, DRG, the real gangsta? So now I know it says his initials. What's up? He says, hey, Tim. Exploitative Gaming. Offensive line failed him when it really mattered. Yeah, that final play, they did end it on a sack of Kyler Murray. That was tough. And you didn't, because it was on a 4th and 10. He needed a little bit more time. And they just ran 4 verts. And I think that was a little bit premature. There's plenty of time, 35 seconds. You could have just try to get a first down, and instead they try to go to the verts. That didn't happen. Infinite Space, what's up, Infinite Space? All right, Spoiled AFib Gaming, I'm sorry those last plays, Kyler wasn't at fault. I guess because you're just saying play calling because he was trying to go deep, but unless if you're just talking about offensive line, yeah, because he also got pressure on that one to Isabella, but why is he looking at Isabella on a 3rd and 10. I mean, you have DeAndre, you throw it into double coverage anyway, so it's not like you can say, oh, well, he's trying to get it to somebody that's open. There was 2 guys there to defend it, so I don't know why they did that. But, yeah, this freaking game, dude, there was a lot. Let's see, I wrote down a bunch of notes. Let's start here. Russell Wilson was the one with the legs tonight. Kyler Murray ended the day with 5 carries, 15 yards. The Seahawks decided Kyler Murray was not going to beat them with his legs, okay? They had they did the play where, you have the defensive ends just completely guard the sides. They had a spy on him all night. They were like, yo, you are not beating us with your legs. And he tried to force it a couple of times, but they did not care. They were all over him tonight. Only 5 carries. But it's Russell Wilson, 10 carries, 42 yards, and a lot of buying time in the pocket, like his first touchdown to DK Metcalf. He bought plenty of time in the pocket, actually on the run, hits DK Metcalf. Metcalf started on the left side of the field, catches it on the opposite end zone, in the back of the end zone. They had to run a long way. That's probably 5 seconds of running that he had to buy time in the pocket. Great play by Russell Wilson. And it's just, he was all over the place. A lot of good moves with Russell Wilson's feet. Quandre Diggs had a huge play for Seahawks. It was a 2nd and 10, actually. I don't think it was on 30, but 2nd and 10. Kyler Murray finds an open, their tight end. I can't think of his name. What was his name again? His name is Arnold, I believe it was. Dan Arnold. He finds him on a deep pass, wide open, catches the ball, but when he goes to turn, Quandre Diggs comes in with a huge hit to knock the ball out. Should have been easily a catch. Instead, they end up having to punt on that drive. Very crucial by Quandre Diggs. But then the same thing, he made a huge mistake where he kept the drive alive on the Cardinals' opening drive for the of the half, and he kept the drive alive by just hitting DeAndre Hopkins. The ball was horribly thrown, way out of, DeAndre Hopkins had no chance of catching it, and he just smacks DeAndre Hopkins right in the back. It actually didn't get head-to-head, but it looked ugly. Should have definitely been called a penalty, and it was. But at the end of the game, he was huge. He was the one that deflected the ball against Isabella that I was just talking about, and he was there to make a play on the ball when Larry Fitz was in the end zone, and I thought that was a good no call because he was making an honest attempt at catching the ball. So thought it was a good no call by the refs. Let's see here. We got a couple more comments. Infinite Space. There should have been 2 pass interference calls at the end before the last sack. No. Okay, so I just, luckily I said it before. I think that the one on Quandre Diggs was not a pass interference. Even though they made contact between him and Larry Fitz, he was making an honest attempt at trying to get the ball. You're allowed to make contact with the receiver. You just can't make contact where you're just trying to tackle them or just hold their arms or whatever so they didn't catch it. He made an honest attempt, and he was actually the one almost playing offense on that play, and Larry Fitz was the one because he was there to catch that ball easy if Larry Fitz was not there. So I do not think it was a pass interference. The other one on Isabella, I mean, if you're thinking about Isabella, I don't think that should have been pass interference either. I mean, it's just tough throws down there when you're throwing into double coverage. I think that's a bailout call if they gave it to him. No, that corner play was open but had a guy in his face. I guess. I don't know if it was open. There was 2 guys there when he threw it. I mean, when the ball was there, I mean, maybe he looked open for a second, but he was not open when the guys were there. You know what I'm saying? When the ball got there, he had 2 guys right there to make a play on the ball. I love seeing a pocket passing Murray shows a bright future. Oh yeah, he's on pace to be the first guy to run for 1,000 yards and throw for 4,000 yards. The dude can throw. There's a reason he was a number 1 pick. And he doesn't take hits. He never takes hits on his runs. Even the ones that he's tackled, he slides and he doesn't take a big hit, which I love for Murray because that also shows a bright future as far as a longevity for him. Exploit AFib Gaming. The Cardinals defensive line didn't do well chasing Wilson. They didn't do well, period. They were averaging 5.5 yards a carry before the kneel downs. Carlos Hyde, who ran fantastic tonight. Oh my God, he was a train coming through. 14 carries, 79 yards and a touchdown. Russell Wilson, 10 carries for 42 yards. Bo Scarborough averaged over 5 yards a carry with 6 carries for 31 yards. And Dallas, on his 1 carry, had 1 carry for 13 yards. 165 yards on the day and a touchdown for the Seahawks. Meanwhile, the number 1 rush team in the league only had 18 carries for 57 yards for a touchdown, and that touchdown was also really close, but I thought it was a great call. They first called it a fumble. Kenyon Drake reached for the end zone, and the ball ends up coming out, but It definitely was not a fumble because once you look at it, the ground forced the fumble. But you were like, okay, was he down or was he not before he got in the end zone? And I thought he was in. It was a good call by the refs. Let's see. Kyler Murray reminds me of Lamar Jackson Jr. He is very similar to Lamar, but I think he does have a little bit more pocket presence. But not to say that Lamar is bad in the pocket. He can be fine in the pocket. But I think Kyler Murray is slightly better than Lamar Jackson. He also has better weapons, so it's kind of hard to tell. And the play caller, Cliff Kingsbury, is a really good play caller. He had a couple of really nice plays that we'll go over in a minute. The Seahawks are not beating the Rams. It's interesting because they have a great pass defense, the Ram does. So it's going to be tough for Wilson. MR06, Mr. 602, welcome to the channel. Have not seen you here before. I guess you're a Seahawks fan, Arizona fan, excuse me, because you said penalties killed us. That's a fact. What was the final count? 10 penalties for 115 yards. But the Seahawks had 8 penalties for 79 yards. But yeah, both teams killed it. But obviously, 10 for 115 is worse, and that's real bad. But sub to the channel, man. Join us. We're here after every game, every primetime game. So join us. Join the club. Rewatch that play. He had open space. I mean, he would have had to throw like freaking Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen strength. I mean, I understand that there was an open, like he was open for a half a second or something, but at the same time, you could see that there was 2 guys there to make like converge on the play. So I understand what you're saying. Evidence Space 44, penalties kill every game. Yep. Mr. 602, Murray missed an open D-hop more than once. Yeah, he wasn't as accurate when it's throwing to D-hop, which is really sad because if you get it in D-hop's vicinity, he's going to catch the ball. Like, he's the best, right? So it sucks that he has to do that. Murray could make that throw if he had time, maybe, but I don't know. Like, it still wasn't a bad throw. He got it right where he wanted it. So I guess you're saying maybe if he had a little bit more drive, he could have zipped it in there. I don't know. I just didn't like the play call because on 4th and 10, I know I'm going to talk about how great of a play caller Cliff Kingsbury is because I think he really is. But that one in particular, I don't think it was his best. Because why are you going for it all? You have time. You have like 40 seconds on the clock. Just try to, get it in there. But anyway, it's tough. Chris Sports Talk, what's up, guys? How is it going, Chris? All right. Just a couple of plays. One in particular was the touchdown to Chase Edmonds. So they had a bunch formation with 4 guys, and they were kind of in almost like in a sideways diamond, or I guess square, but it wasn't quite a square. I don't know. It was like an offset diamond kind of thing. And you had Chase Edmonds over there and Kenyon Drake. No, that wasn't No, that was the Dan Arnold touchdown. Excuse me. We'll get to the Chase Edmonds touchdown was also really good. We'll get into that too. But no, this one's the Dan Arnold touchdown. So you had Kenyon Drake actually go in motion. They call hike, run a play action, don't give it to him. Then they fake the screen. Dan Arnold does a fantastic job of selling the block, and then he freaking races to the middle of the end zone on a slant, and Kyler Murray hits him for a touchdown. Beautiful play design, beautiful play call, fooled the defense. Great play. Now the Chase Edmonds one is they also got a little lucky. So I guess it wasn't so much the play call because they also got lucky with but at the same time, you had 4 receivers on the left side, or 3 receivers, tight end on this side, and they had the Chase Edmonds run across the field, and they got him in a perfect situation because they were running a zone blitz on that. They sent the house at Murray, and it left Chase Edmonds wide open. Great play call for the Cardinals. Sport AFib Gaming. Now the defense, why did they play a lot of man? The Seahawks receivers are fast because they have Patrick Peterson, I guess. I guess that's what we got. But DK Metcalf was okay. He had a couple of bad drops, but he's a beast. There's no doubt about it. He just needs to fix his hands a little bit because the one hit him right in the face. That was hilarious. And then he had another one that was a really bad drop. But something that doesn't show up on the stat sheet was a 40-yard play against Patrick Peterson, stutter and go. That was a fantastic play to get called back for a holding, which is what Mr. 602 was talking about. Lots and lots of penalties. Really stunk. Sport AFib Gaming. And the worst defensive play call on 3rd downs. I don't know. It's tough to guard Russell Wilson, dude. I mean, it was just, he was buying so much time with his legs. I don't know if I really blame the defensive play calling as far as, like, you can't guard receivers forever, especially not Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. And basically that's what the corners were asked to do a lot because they couldn't get their hands on Russell Wilson. It sucked. No spy on Wilson the whole game. That may be true. I don't know about that. You have to go back and look. And if that's the case, I don't, because Russell Wilson, as I said, was running all over the place. You got to put a spy on him, unfortunately. Mr. 602, Dre Kirkpatrick is a liability. That was tough. That was really tough. And that actually turned into 7 points for the Seahawks. It was a third down, I think 3rd and 10, and they actually get the stop and forced 4th and 3, and there was an argument that the Seahawks might go for it anyway because they really wanted to get a touchdown on that play. But something happened between DK Metcalf and Dre Kirkpatrick that set Kirkpatrick off. I don't know what was going to be said, or what was said, I should say, and what exactly happened there, but we should definitely look into that because Kirkpatrick was beside himself angry, screaming his head off. And I still think there should have probably have been two-way penalties because I don't care what the other person is saying. You can't go over and start swinging at the guy, but they only called the penalty on Kirkpatrick. I was surprised. I thought there should have been offset penalties. But at the same time, there should have been a penalty earlier because Kirkpatrick swung at the ref. He, swung his arms up and, tried to get his hands off of him. Very tough situation there, too. So he actually got lucky the first time, and I guess maybe that's why they only called it on Kirkpatrick because they were like, hey, we'll give you one chance. I know you're upset, but go cool off. And then he came back still screaming his head off. It's like, all right, you can't hit a ref and do that. He probably should have been ejected, to be honest, but he wasn't. Anthony Hopkins, D-Hop only got me 10 points, shaking my head. I know, it's tough. It's tough. I have him in a league, too. Kyler Murray didn't he ended up on an okay day, but not Kyler Murray standards, too. I have him in another league. Exploitative Gaming, most teams don't know how to deal with running QBs unless you're used to them, like the Saints and the Steelers. It's just tough to guard them, period. Especially if they can throw the ball at all. And Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson are two fantastic throwers of the football, so it's hard to guard them. But the Seahawks did a great job tonight. They forced him to throw the ball, and that kind of stymied him, to be honest. But at the same time, what really stymied him is penalties, as Mr. 602 talked about. The penalties really did hurt the Cardinals tonight. But it wasn't one-sided, because they had a lot of penalties for the Seahawks, too. Let's see here. Yeah, Russell Wilson only ended the day with 197 yards through the air, but that's because they had 165 yards on the ground. I mean, you don't need to throw the ball that much with that much on the ground. Kyler Murray, 29 for 42, 269 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not bad coming from Murray. Murray's shoulder wasn't 100%. That's true. They were showing him wincing on the sideline, saying that he had some problems with his throwing shoulder. That's true. Exploitative Gaming. Remember we had to deal with the prime Cam Newton in our division? You don't think the Saints had to get used to it? That's true. Cam Newton was a different beast, though. They literally ran the ball with him. Like, he was a legitimate running back, Cam Newton was. But, I mean, Cam Newton could definitely throw the ball. I think that Russell Wilson I have no doubt Russell Wilson's a better thrower of the football. But I think Kyler Murray's a better thrower of the football, too, than Cam Newton. But it's still, your point stands. Like, you did have to get used to playing against a prime Cam Newton, and that's fair. Yeah, let's see. Did I have any other notes on this game? I wrote a bunch of stuff down. Yep, already went over that one. Let's see here. If any comments want to come up. Oh, this one was really interesting. And Joe Buck is an idiot who just completely went over his head. So you had the fumble. Well, yeah, it was like a bad pitch that it was actually called a fumble on Russell Wilson, but in reality, Carlos Hyde just didn't catch it. And clearly Carlos Hyde gets the ball on the when it was on the ground. Carlos Hyde clearly got the ball. Okay. And Cardinals head coach Cliff Kingsbury throws the challenge flag. And Joe Buck is like, why in the world would you ever challenge that? That makes no sense. Why would you challenge that? There's no chance you're ever going to get overturned on that call. And it's like, because he was going to call a timeout anyway, you doofus. There was 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 35 seconds left on the clock. He was going to call timeout anyway. Challenge it. You might get lucky, right? All of a sudden they overturn it because your guy did end up with the ball at the end of the pile. But you knew that you weren't going to get that down. So you give your defense even more rest on a 3rd and 18. It's actually brilliant to call a challenge there instead of a timeout. It's really, really heads up coaching. And I think Cliff Kingsbury is constantly thinking of those things, which is why he called timeout, which he actually iced his kicker last time because the play clock got low. And he again called timeout when Kyler Murray got the play clock low. And it's because he's constantly paying attention and trying to come up with the best plans and best ideas. I actually really like Cliff Kingsbury's mind as far as trying to make the best decisions for his team there. So I thought that was a brilliant challenge, and it completely went over Joe Buck's head, who's on the broadcast like, that was a dumb challenge. I don't know why he did that challenge. That was stupid. But yeah, let's see. Oh, apparently Spotify begins again. That was a bad challenge, and the other one, when they snapped the ball, when Kyler got it off on time. No, it was a good challenge. I just explained this to you. Come on, dude. I just explained why it was a good challenge. Mr. 602, Simmons is getting harder or getting better and better each game. Isaiah Simmons, I'm glad because I loved him coming out. I wanted the Skins to get him, obviously being a Skins fan, but I wanted that. Spoiled Ape Gaming, he was, but declined once them 30s come. Oh, yeah. Cam Newton. Spoiled Ape Gaming, what's your draft plan for the offseason, Tim? I don't know. I haven't really come up with a good plan yet of what I want to do as far as I'll definitely go live during the draft. That's no doubt. I just went live for the NBA draft last night, which was fun. But I'll definitely go live. But as far as do I have other plans for the off season? I'm not sure. I really don't know. That's a great question. Maybe we start watching some other sports as well. Like if anything else is going on, maybe watch some basketball or watch some other stuff. But I don't know. This is brand new. This past off season we just started Skins in the Game, so me and my dad were going live once a week. Maybe I'll make some more video type things, but definitely I want to stream because that's what I'm doing with you guys. So hang out with you guys through the off season. Maybe pick a day every week and we can come together to stream. We'll already do that with Skins in the Game on Wednesdays, so maybe do something else on Sunday nights or something. I don't know, but I don't know what the best plan is. Joe Buck sucks, Mr. 602 says. Pat McAfee ranted on crappy commentators recently. Good old Pat McAfee. But I don't like Joe Buck because he's a big Cowboys fan and it's just obnoxious. But he's a fine commentator in reality. It's fine, but it is. Spotify Gaming. If Jameis Winston don't work out, I'm up for calling Colin Kaepernick. You know how I feel about Colin Kaepernick. He doesn't want to play. Jameis eats W's. That's right. Facts, 602. Facts. Chris, Sports Talk. Short week. Can't really judge either team on this game. I mean, to me, I still think the Cardinals at full health, they could go all the way. I don't think that Seahawks are better than them or built like them. The Seahawks are... I think Pete Carroll's a good coach. I think the Seahawks obviously they have a fantastic quarterback in Russell Wilson, so they can make any noise that they can. I shouldn't say they can make any noise in the playoffs possible. They could win it all. They really can, just because they have a good coach and they have a good quarterback. That's enough to potentially win the Super Bowl. I mean, Tom Brady's done it, and Bill Belichick. You had freaking Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay did it. I mean, you could win it without a great defense, but at the same time, the Seahawks defense is a problem, but they showed up tonight, so it's really good. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't pick the Seahawks to make the Super Bowl, and I don't really pick the Cardinals either because I don't think their defense is really up to snuff. But both teams, I wouldn't be shocked if either team made it. Maybe a little bit more for the Cardinals, honestly. I think the Seahawks have a better chance personally. Infinite Space 44. You can always stream Madden. Yeah, that's a possibility. I'd have to buy Madden, but that's maybe. When we get closer to the end of the season, we'll talk as a community, we'll talk as a group, and see what we want to do. I don't know. I don't know yet. I wouldn't want to torture Tim with Madden. Fair enough. Chris Sports Talk. DK Metcalf is a nice, fine receiver, but like I said, he struggles with top corners. Dude, he had a couple of plays that were called back, and he had a couple of drops, wide open drops. So I don't think he was really stifled by Patrick Peterson tonight. I think he just made a couple of bonehead things, and then he got a 40-yard play call on Patrick Peterson, a 40-yard catch on Patrick Peterson that was called back with a holding, which was also a bad holding. Let me tell you, that was a terrible holding call. Terrible. The dude bull rushed him and basically tackled him, and the dude just falls backwards. Doesn't pull him down at all. He just trips over him because he bull rushed the heck out of him, and they both fall to the ground, and they called holding. Terrible holding call. The Cardinals are way better. I don't think their defense is that much better, really. And Russell Wilson is still better than Kyler Murray. I love Kyler Murray, but Russell Wilson today is still better. And arguably, I mean, their weapons are pretty darn comparable. D-Hop's definitely the best receiver on the field in this game, but DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, you still have an older Greg Olsen, but that's still meh. You have I still like Will Dissly personally, but he hasn't showed up yet in this season. I don't know. It's interesting. Let's see here. Kevin Harvick, fan 04. That taunting penalty is what cost the Cardinals this game. They may have gone for it on 4th and 3 anyway, but at the same time, it was just ugly, bad. He probably should have been thrown out of the game. But yeah, that taunting penalty was big. It was on 4th and 3, you don't even get a chance to potentially run the play, and instead, that's what happens. Let's see here. He can be neutralized. You neutralize DK, you can manage the others. He can't really be neutralized one-on-one. I don't think so. I remember Bo Jackson being an overpowered card in Madden 20. That's true. Madden 20 was Stretch 5 and Wildcats. That's it. Let's do it once we hit 200. When the Discord coming. That's true. You know, I need to figure out Discord as far as like making a bunch of rules and stuff. I don't know if here, let me bring up Discord. I actually did make like a Discord there, but at the same time, like I don't have like all the rules and stuff that you should have when you are starting one like this. So I don't know. Here, let me get the all right, the Tim Sports Talk here. Invite people, copy, paste. There you go. We got a basic Discord. We just need to start making the rules and different things like that, and getting different channels and different stuff. I don't know. I don't know what the best plan of action is for a Discord, but it's very basic. It just has a general and a voice channel. That's like literally. I still play Clash of Clans every once in a while, and somebody just made a Discord for that, and they have all sorts of stuff. I'll pull that up. Pull this up like this, I guess. Whoop. You can see this. Kinda. Nope, wrong one. Yeah, this all, like, look at all these things. You have the rules, server info, announcements, roles, town hall selection. I mean, this is a lot of detail. I'm just general, like, like this is just all I have here. But hey, I set the thing there, join it up, and we'll see where it goes, man. We'll get her started. What do we got? Chris Sports like, LOL, did you see what Jalen Ramsey did to DK? Shut down one-on-one. Did you see what Pat P did to him the first time? Shut down top corners. DK struggles with even Brandon Marshall said it himself. That's DK's biggest problem. Now he has to get over. All right, I don't know. I didn't watch the Rams game, so I don't know as much. But I do know that they only threw to him 4 times, and I don't know if that's literally because of coverage. But yeah, I mean, Jalen Ramsey's the best corner, like not the best, maybe one of the best corners. I mean, to struggle with that as a second-year player, I'm not really that big a deal. All right, let's see. Tevin Harvick, what is the point of a Discord? You can just use the YouTube chat. Well, the Discord can be like a more of a community thing that we could talk off chat. You have the app on the phone. Like, it's not only when I'm going for online. Yes, we will be using the Discord, or excuse me, the YouTube chat on while we're streaming. I'm not going to be looking at the Discord while we're streaming, but it's just an off-stream thing. And as actually spoke to him, he can update us on his streams. Exactly. Yeah, there's stuff like that. You also could just chat football in there throughout the day that's not stream-related, you know? So it's cool. I know other people that have used it like that, so I understand the Discord thing. But yeah, it's cool. Join it up, and it's a free app. It's an easy app, and it's nice. It's a cool little thing that we can chat on. And also, if like ever I want to bring in people on to like talk to me, you know, like we could go live and people can call in and ask questions. That's probably what we'll use in the future because it's super easy to use. But DK's okay. He's going to be great. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. He just needs to learn more. That's fair. Second-year player. That's completely fair. Infinite Space. I love sitting here talking about football with you. Takes my mind off anxiety and the city's shutting down around me because of COVID. But I'll see you, man. Have a good one. Hey, see you, man. Have a good one. Infinite Space. And I understand COVID is hurting everybody. But, you know, it's kind of great. COVID is kind of what got my channel started, you know. So could be one of the best things that happened to me. It's unfortunate for everybody, but that's true. DMV Sports Zone. What's up, dude? How you doing? How's it going, bro? It was a great game, dude. It was a great game. When these two show up, I love Kyler Murray. I love Russell Wilson. This is a great matchup. Hey, did you hear Ron says Trashke might start Sunday? Well, we don't have anybody else because Chaser ever got hurt. It sucks. We need to get somebody in the building ASAP. Sport AFib Gaming, we're a beginning for this channel. Once he get big, we might be his trustworthy teammates. There you go. That'd be cool, you know? That'd be cool. Thanks, Aphid. Spoiled. But yeah, no, it's cool. Awesome. It was a great game, dude. It really was. I loved how Carlos Hyde ran tonight. You know, I liked him back when he was at San Francisco. I really wanted the Redskins to pick him up that offseason when the Browns ended up picking him up. And then he ended up going to, like, where did he go? Jacksonville, I think, for a minute because Fournette got hurt. And now he's with the Seahawks. That's, I think, where he ended up after that. But I'm like, we need running backs. And I would have loved, at that time, we needed a running back because we didn't have Adrian Peterson then. We only had basically Darius Geis is what we had. And I don't even think we had drafted him yet. I think that was like the spring right before that draft. So like a month or two. I'm like, let's get Carlos Hyde. I think he's really talented. And he freaking ran his buns off today. It was great. Chris Sports Talk. Now that I think about it, we actually have a short week. Oh, wow. Well, these next 2 games are basically our season. I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah, Hyde was good tonight. Carson is coming back soon, though. Yeah, I think Carson is better. He's fixed the fumbling issues, it seems like, this year. I haven't heard anything about the fumbling problem that he had last year. But, yeah, Carson's a beast, too. But I love Carlos Hyde. I really do. Not like one of the best running backs in the league, but I think he's a very serviceable, good running back. And he showed that tonight. See if peace out, gaming. He's going to take his pill for his wisdom teeth. I forgot that you said you had that, dude. Good luck, dude. Feel better. Chris Sports Talk, I would love to have the number 2 or 3 overall pick. That would be awesome. Get one of these quarterbacks. If we had the number 2, I think I might lead Justin Fields over Trey Lance. I'm not going to lie. I don't know. I wouldn't be mad with either one, though. If we went either one. But I don't know. I don't know, dude. One of them. Leave a like. Your team will get 20 penalties. 7 likes tonight. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. Either way, win or lose, we still... either way, win or lose, we win. Still, Trey Lance or maybe Justin Fields, here we come. Exactly. One of those two. If we get one of those two, I'm not mad. I'm serious. I think either one of those two guys could change our franchise, and I'm here for it. I like both of them. I don't know as much about the Zach Wilson character. I don't know. A lot of people are liking him, but I don't know much about him, to be honest. Who Dat Nation? How's it going, dude? Welcome to the channel. I'm not familiar with you personally. I don't think. Maybe you changed your name. I don't know. But maybe you came. You know what? Maybe you actually came after that game where you guys smacked the. That's right. Your first time you were here was when you guys smacked the Bucks. I do remember you now. Never mind. Sorry. Welcome back. How you doing? Chris Sports Talk. Bro, either of those guys with Gibson and Terry is next level. That's contenders big time. I'm telling you right now, Cam Sims is emerging as our number 2. You just watched him. I've been right thus far. He's been fine. He's been fine. And maybe he's grown a lot. That's fair. Because you don't always have to have bad hands. Okay? But he's done fine so far, and I'm not complaining. I like Zach Wilson. I like his swagger. He would be great with us too. Hey, then there's 3 solid quarterbacks that we could go after, and if we get a top 5 pick, we should be able to get at least one of those. At least one. At least one. Gonna make spoiled an admin. Chris, do you have Discord? The Cardinals played better than the Seahawks, in my opinion. I think they played fine, but not really, though. I think they played okay, but Seahawks played a great game tonight. They had 165 yards on the ground. Cardinals had a ton of penalties. Russell Wilson didn't turn the ball over this time. Last time that they went to overtime, he had 3 interceptions, so that's tough. So he didn't turn the ball over at all this time. I don't know. I think the better team tonight was the Seahawks. And especially because of how they contained Murray, 5 carries for 15 yards. I don't know. I disagree. I think that the Seahawks were the ones that played better. Chris Sports Talk. And to be honest, if you really sit back and look, Ron's player development has been amazing. Look at Cam Sims. Look at Cam Curl. Look at Cole Holcomb. And they played in big situations during the game, and they've made big plays, and they are go-to guys. I think Cole Holcomb, I like Cole Holcomb, but I think he needs to do a little bit better. I think the linebacker play in this last game was abysmal. But Cam Curl's been great. I have no problems with Cam Curl. Cam Sims definitely has improved. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, we need linebackers. I think our biggest weakness right now is linebacker. We need the Luke Kuechly of the Carolina Panthers defense that made them so great. Our front 4 is fantastic, but our linebackers are a big problem. Isaiah Wright was a good find. I liked Isaiah Wright a lot. But I think it's mostly Kyle Smith, to be honest. I think Kyle Smith is a fantastic evaluator of talent. So whatever Kyle Smith wants, I'm cool with. I want to make that guy just our general manager, just make him the GM. But I guess he kind of is. He's basically the GM. But he's not the GM because we hired Jason Wright as the president, the team president. So he kind of does like the other GM roles as far as the business side, but he's basically the GM as far as a personnel guy. So I love Kyle Allen. Michael Thomas is greater than Terry McLaurin. Oh, you're going to get Chris set off. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Michael Thomas is in a perfect offense for him. And what made him so great last year, they freaking give him targets out the ying, and Sean Payton's a great play designer. Dude, Terry McLaurin is a beast. I think Terry McLaurin can be Antonio Brown without all the crazy crap off the field because he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's a really good dude. And Anthony Johnson, here he is. Slant boy. But no, I love Terry McLaurin, and I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Michael Thomas. It's hard to argue stats-wise, right? I mean Slant Thomas. Michael Thomas isn't nowhere near Terry at all. Yeah, I love Terry. And Michael Thomas, it's stats-wise and stuff like that. It's hard to argue, of course, that way because this year, obviously, it's not hard to argue because he has no stats because he's been injured. But he does have, obviously, a longer career than Terry right now. But Terry is legit receiver. Thomas not even top 3? You're probably right. My top 3, actually, you're definitely right. Because my top 3 are Julio, D-Hop, and not necessarily in this order. Julio, D-Hop, and Devontae Adams. The order is probably more... No, actually, in that order. Julio, D-Hop, Devontae Adams. That's the order I'd put it in. Is the 3 best receivers in the league, in my opinion. And Julio's getting older now, so maybe you move him down a little bit, but those are the top 3. Terry's top 5 receiving yards with 3 different QBs throwing to him, but that's none of my business. Julio, D-Hop, Adams is what Anthony Johnson says as well, and is it that order? Drew Brees is greater than Trashkins. You think? You think? Drew Brees is greater than a lot of people. Anthony Johnson, I'm better than Haskins. Oh, that's good. That's good. I'm better than Haskins. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Oh, that's good. D-Hop youngest to 700 receptions. I love D-Hop. D-Hop's a monster. I think I'd rather have Julio. Just because you can't argue with his size and speed. 6'4", running a 4.3. DK Metcalf has the potential to be on that kind of level, but Julio's a much better route runner right now, and it has been throughout his career. There's a reason he was top. Was he top 5 or was he number 6 or something like that? I don't know. Fantastic receiver, absolute monster. So I love him. Let's see here. Terry will emerge in front of those guys once we get our QB you guys just watched. In front of Julio, D-Hop, and Adams? I don't know, bro. I don't know. Chris Sports Talk. I still believe Terry hasn't even hit his full potential yet. Well, yeah, I completely agree with that. And who knows? He might be. Because, as I said, Antonio Brown was on top of the food chain at one point, and that's who I compare him to. So, he definitely could be the number 1 receiver in the league. If he had Big Ben throwing to him, he would be a monster. There's no doubt about it. He has Russell Wilson. He's Tyler Lockett all day, as far as even more stats than Tyler Lockett. Will Lutz equals Dustin Hopkins, Anthony Johnson. I'm better than him, too. Oh, God. My wife loves Will Lutz. So she picks her fantasy teams based on cuteness. And she beats me. She just beat me last week. But yeah, she goes through, and we go through before each season, and she tells me who's good enough to be on what her team is called, the Cutie Patooties. And I draft for her based on the list of players that she allows me to draft, but I draft for her so that we draft them in a proper order. Because if she had the pick, she would have picked Jimmy Garoppolo first round because he's apparently the cutest guy in the whole world. But she loves Will Lutz. That's the kicker she goes to. Okay, I'm like, okay, which kicker do you want? And she starts looking through and she goes, ooh, I like him. And so every year we've drafted Will Lutz for her, and that's done really well. I would take D-Hop because he's more durable than Julio, and D-Hop has played with trash QBs his whole career and still has been at the top, so I'll take D-Hop over him. I'm not even going to really argue with you. If you want D-Hop over Julio, I'm not going to cry about it. D-Hop's amazing. So, 1A, 1B, really, it's really a toss-up. I'm not going to complain. I love both. Who Dat Nation? I've been watching Redskins games this year, and I've seen how you've played. Okay, fair enough. Awesome. Keep it up. I mean, I'm sorry for the torture that they put you through. You're not rooting for him, I guess, right? So, Tyler Locker ain't Terry. Don't even make that comparison. No, I was just saying he would have... first of all, I said he would have better numbers than Tyler. I was just saying Russell Wilson, if he had Russell Wilson, he'd be better than Tyler Lockett numbers. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying if he had Russell Wilson, he would be as good as or better than Tyler Lockett. He already is better than Tyler Lockett, but you get my point. Tyler Lockett has really good stats under Russell Wilson. Put Terry over there, and it'd be even better. Outside of D-Hop, the receivers you mentioned have a Hall of Fame QB their whole career. Dude, Davante Adams is legit. Davante Adams is legit. Okay? I know he has Aaron Rodgers. I understand that. But I promise you, Davante Adams is legit. Chris Sports, Tress Way over Thomas Morstead. Facts. I don't want to hear nothing about Morstead. I'm better than him too. We're all better than Daniel Snyder, okay? Every human being on the earth is better than Daniel Snyder. Chris Sports Talk. And if you put Terry with Rodgers, do you seriously think he wouldn't have better stats than him? No. Davante Adams is like leading the league in everything right now. And he's had 2 injuries. Or I think he would miss 2 games for injuries. Well, I know he's the number 1 fantasy receiver available. Where is he at? Who were we just talking about? We're just talking about Davante Adams. Where's he at? Okay, so he's number 9 in yards, and he only has 7 games played. He's only 40 yards behind Terry, and he has 2 less games. Arguably 3 less games because he got hurt early in one of those, right? Didn't he get hurt in one of those pretty early? Or maybe I'm making that part up. I might be getting confused with Julio because I know Julio's had some injuries as well. Hold on. Yeah, he got hurt early in the Detroit game because he only had 3 catches, 36 yards. So he's basically down almost 3 games compared to Terry, and he's through the roof on stats. Stephon Diggs is leading the league, but he is having his bye week this week with 906 yards. D-Hop has 861 yards. Davante Adams is only 120 yards behind him with 3 less games, or basically 2.5 less games. So, and then touchdowns-wise, Davante Adams is tied in the league, tied for the lead with 9 touchdowns, and he has 2 less games, 2.5 less games than Adam Thielen and Tyreek Hill. Bro, Davante Adams is legit. That's weird. It says I have 2 concurrent viewers, but 3 of you are chatting right now. So Anthony Johnson, Chris, and Who Dat Nation. I don't know why it's saying I only have 2 viewers right now. I have no clue. That's weird. All right, where are we at? Look at my Madden franchise mode with me as an owner. That's funny. Chris Sportsock, no, he's not. Devontae Adams isn't durable. He usually misses time. Okay, he's missed time the last 2 seasons. That's fair. That's fair. But he's been fantastic when he's on the field. He's legit, dude. LOJ, not even our coach, so I don't care about him. Never did. Sean Payton greater than Jay Gruden. Our coach is now Ron Rivera. You kept him for way too long. That's great point. It's fair. It's fair. We did keep him for too long. It's fair. But yeah, dude, Devontae Adams is top 10 in all stats with basically 2.5 games behind everybody else. Terry has basically 2 games in 1 week, so I'm sure Terry will be top 2 receiving yards. Once those 2 games are over, Devontae Adams is great, but him with Rodgers would be greater. Terry is more talented. Terry's extremely talented. Dude, we are drawing at straws right now. You know, like threading the needle right here. Okay, they're both extremely talented players. But I'm telling you, Devontae Adams has better size. Terry has the speed, but Devontae Adams can run every route fantastic on the book, and he's got great hands. He's a legit receiver, I promise. Mickey Loomis over Bruce Allen. Are you just looking at like who is on this, or do you know these people by heart? Are you like Googling like who the Redskins like people were at some time? That's funny. I don't know, dude. I don't know if I would say he's necessarily more talented. I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, he's just Googling it. Because Bruce Allen isn't here anymore either. That's hilarious. Let's see here. Terry leads the league in yards after catch. You didn't know that, did you? I did not. Yak. Well, if you don't include Alvin Kamara. But as far as receivers are concerned, he is 398 yards after catch, which is fantastic. I know he was Googling it, Anthony. That's what he said. You didn't know that, did you? Nope, I did not. You're just naming people who aren't with us anymore. Lol. Yep. Ryan Ramczyk over Morgan Moses. Now he's looking at the depth chart. Terry is the total package, and then he has no weaknesses in his game, and it's only his 2nd year. What is the weakness in freaking Devontae Adams' game? What do you mean? Devontae Adams has no weakness in his game either. And Devontae Adams, what is Devontae Adams? 6'2", 6'3"? Oh, he's only 6'1", so they're about the same size. I love Terry. And maybe he will be better than Davante Adams. I said that Terry does have the potential to be better than all those guys, but I just want to say Davante Adams is legit. He's not Michael Thomas. Okay? Michael Thomas is a great receiver, but I think you could argue that Terry's better already. Chris Sports Talk. Anthony Johnson. I don't know. Morgus has actually been balling. He's cut down his penalties a lot, which is nice. You don't have to worry about him doing false start every single play, which is nice. So, but Ryan Ramczyk is a beast. Let's look it up. I'm curious. What's the PFF say? I would imagine Ryan Ramczyk is better, according to PFF. Oh, God, yeah. He's an 80.6 on here. Definitely not 80 for Morgan Moses. I'll tell you that right now. He's dang near close, though. 78. He's right there. The guys you say that has size over him can't jump in the air and make aggressive catches better than those guys and makes it at a higher rate. That's a stat as well, and he leads that category as well. Leads the category as far as like going up and getting the ball over people. Where do you see that stat? Because Davante Adams can go over you and get a ball. I mean, there's a reason he has 9 touchdowns. He's a hell of a red zone target. I'm surprised Morgan Moses is 78. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty darn good. I was watching a video today on that. Send me that video. I'm curious. And I would be curious of how few or how close Davante Adams is that with 2.5 less games. Highest catch rate in traffic. I know that's a Madden rating, but do they keep that stat? I don't know. Excuse me. Mercedes-Benz Superdome over FedEx Field. That's a fact. That's a fact there. I promise you that. 2.5 less games with Aaron Rodgers as his QB. Come on, let's not forget that, Tim. I understand that, but Davante Adams is a beast, dude. Yeah, he's basically got the same. So there you go. Without 2.5 games, they're about the same receiver, but he has way more touchdowns. He has 9 to 3 touchdowns. They have almost identical receptions. I'm pretty sure. No, Terry has 57. Davante Adams has 61. He also has more. He has more receptions on less targets, so he has a higher catch rate. Davante Adams is 46 yards behind him. Terry leads in the yards per catch category. Davante Adams right now is averaging 105 yards a game. Terry's averaging 87, so he's about 20 yards more average per game. They both have a fumble lost. Yards per catch, Davante Adams was right there at 310 yards after catch, I should say. 310 yards to Terry's 398. So Davante Adams is not that far behind. Dude, he's a beast. One leg Smith is greater than no ribs Breeze. That's funny. I was hearing he was getting a new stadium. Are they? Could Devontae Adams do that with Alex Smith and Dwayne Haskins, Kyle Allen, Case Keenum? Obviously, that's a what do they call those? A false. I can't think of it. I don't know. Basically, alternative universe that we can't think of, or it's a. I can't think of the proper term, but basically, it's impossible to say. I think he could. I think he could do this with anybody. I'm not these stats. He's not going to have 9 touchdowns, but I think he could do Terry's stats with somebody else. It's very possible. But at the same time, I mean, Terry's a beast too. I understand that. We ain't getting a new stadium. We might be getting a rebrand, though. Instead of Mercedes-Benz. So Mercedes-Benz won't be sponsoring it anymore. Yeah, everybody on your team's better than Troy Apke. What's Troy Apke's PFF? Look at this. You'll laugh at this. Who has a guess? Oh, wow. It's actually better than I thought it was going to be. It's not good, but it's better than I thought it was going to be. Marshawn Lattimore, according to PFF, is not much better. You have 53.9 for Marshawn Lattimore and 50.4. Yikes. Exactly, that's the point. Not a lot of receivers can do that. There's only been one, and that's D-Hop, and he had 14 different QBs. Calvin Johnson had a lot of QBs over his career, right? Because Matt Stafford was constantly getting hurt in the beginning. Doesn't matter. They're both beasts. I love Terry, too. Love me some Terry McLaurin. All right, ladies and gents. Emphasis on the ladies. No, I was kidding. I think I'm going to get off here, go pass out. Got work in just a few hours. So, Chris Sports Talk, we need to do these 2 things before we start of next year. Draft Justin Fields or Trey Lance and make our name the Red Wolves. I just saw something else about freaking the team might keep the Washington football team. I need to make a video, like a nice detailed video of why we should be called the Red Wolves, and then maybe we can get that shared, stirring around on why we should be called the Washington Red Wolves. I will make that video. That's going to be my goal in the next coming weeks. Let me post this again. Join the Discord, peeps. Join the Discord. But I guess I will see, the next time I will see you guys is on Sunday. Yeah, the no names. God. Who dat? You right? Who they? Who they? Who they? Who that? Who? Awesome. All right, guys. See you on Sunday. And until next time, see ya.